thrill with darkness and silence through the night. What a thrill. I'm searching and I'll melt into you. What a fear in my heart, but you're so supreme. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. Someday you go through the rain, and someday you'll feed on a tree frog. It's ordeal, the trial to survive for the day we see new light. I give my life, not for honor, but for you. In my time, there'll be no one else. Crime, it's the way I fly to you. I'm still in a dream, snake eater. I'm still in a dream, snake eater.
Why am I? Dang it. I think I gotta fix my buttons again. They're a little too far apart. They make things not flow the way I want them to. I'm continuing a stream that started on Tiffany's side. Now, I don't know if all the people are gonna show up here. Although maybe I don't want all of them to show up. Now, it does it does bring a good topic up or subject or whatever, because these things are going to be happening. By the way, hi Daniel, thanks for showing up, man. Dude, consistency is one of my favorite things, and you, sir, have been consistent. No matter what's been going on, you show up and you say, hey, I appreciate that, bro. Not enough people do what you're doing. Keep it up. I think it's something that's very nice. I mean, people don't understand how important it is just to show up to somebody's thing and say, hey. I mean, sure, some things are bad blood, whatever. But if you can, to show up to somebody's live and just say, hey, by all means, just like this. Hello, Tiffany. Thank you for coming here to continue what started on your stream. Although I don't think I want to entertain what was going on. Now, listen, I know you run your stream how you want to, and really, my suggestion was, I think it was going on too long, not because I didn't enjoy the thrashing that Queen was giving, because I thoroughly enjoyed it, but there's only so much of that you can give. You know what I mean? She obviously made her point. She obviously buried any anything that he was going to bring out. But it was obvious. It was obvious to me that this is what he wanted. What he wanted was for Queen to go off. There wasn't any he didn't there wasn't gonna be an end. There wasn't gonna be a moment where he was gonna be like, I've had enough of this, because that's exactly what he wanted. And that's exactly what he was pushing throughout the whole life, was her going off. And like I said, by all means, I can enjoy that. But to what end? Like at what point is Queen's, rant gonna, she made her point. I've said it once and I've said it 100 times. I don't like circles. I really don't. And even if the point is dragged on where one person that I believe is correct, even if they're correct and even if they're saying things that I agree with, if we're going in circles, I'm just gonna like be like, okay, this is just turning me off. But more so when it's like, that the other person does not want it to end. The other person is not even trying. What they want is for this to drag on and drag on because they like it. Now, it might be comparable to a masochist, right? Because he's being beaten on. But I just think that that's what he was doing. For some reason, for him, I think it's a win to have Queen talk shit about him because, people nowadays are looking for victimhood. You know what I mean? They're looking for to look like, they're being attacked. And so I think more than anything, that's what he was looking for. And I think he got exactly what he was looking for. That's just my opinion, though. Carte blanche, my carte blanche. I'm so happy to see you. I saw you come in late the other time, and I felt bad because I was like, oh, maybe I should stay on for another 5 minutes for carte blanche. But I had already hit the stop the stream, and it was too late. But I'm so happy you're here. I miss you. Yeah, well, I mean, yeah, that's where I'm at with that. But I'm not like, see, I'm in a different place with it now. Oh, for sure, Tiff. Like I said, I, you know, whenever I go through like my little like moments in life where like like there are falling outs and stuff like that. Sometimes it's in those falling outs that I'm able to see like real people in certain places, right? And I don't know, man. Like honestly, I think that I'm very happy that I decided to like like come and meet you. Now I can honestly say that I wasn't looking for you in particular when I decided to start like like kind of like traversing the other side because I was curious about the other side. But like running into you and like getting to know you, I think has been very very productive. I think we share a lot of ideals. It's just that I do believe we're on two opposite ends in like our faiths, right? And I mean that in the religious, like the way we think religiously. But I think it's I don't know. I think it's interesting. I think there's something there if we ever have a sit down conversation about it. I think we'll find a lot there. So I'm interested in getting to know you more. Um, and that's why like I'm like like I'm trying to get to know you more, like as a person and stuff like that. I hope that we do explore that because I think you're cool. Honestly, and I don't mean that I mean that like sincerely in a very interesting way. Yeah, yeah. I'm a sister. Absolutely, I get it. Absolutely, like it does get a little too much. But I also understand. Where Queen is coming from when she does that because it's like I just that's the world that I feel comfortable there. Like and I could hear her go at it with them over and over. Like I can hear them go at it all night. But I know to some degree I didn't come to the panel or I didn't go there to just hear somebody get railed on. Like that's with anybody. Like whenever I go to a panel, or whenever I'm trying to like have fun with somebody, I'm not there just to see one thing. It's cool. It's cool. It's like like you see, like you always want to see something cool like that. But Yeah, it got a little long in the tooth, and I was kind of like, like I was starting to get bored and stuff like that. But that was my opinion of it. Not for Tiffany to like to shut it down or anything like that. It was just my opinion of it. Yeah, probably. I don't know. That phone has something. Never, card. Never. I never run out on you. Well, maybe. I don't know. Okay, maybe, but you're in Australia, remember? If we were anywhere near each other, Carpa, I'd be so loyal, so loyal. Yeah, I think so. No, no, I know, and I know you said that, but like it came right when, like, like, and trust me when I tell you, like, like I'm, it's not, like some people, like, like will take, me expressing an opinion as like, oh, like, oh, I've been told that, like, supposedly, like I try to take control. I just express my opinion as somebody who's a part of something, right? Like, so if, like, I'm a part of your panel and I'm getting vibes or something, I'll tell you. It's not, I don't, like, and but the only reason why I do that is because I'm the same way here. Like, like, if somebody's on my panel, if you're on my panel, if I got, like, the chatters telling me something, I pay attention to it, like, like, to a certain degree. Now, if I feel that it's fair, then I'm all like, yeah, what, you may be right. Sometimes, us as streamers, because, like, we're interested in certain things, we're not paying attention to, like, the whole of the actual vibe in the room, and sometimes you got to read the room for things to be running a little bit more smoother. Now I get it. You had audio problems or whatever, and that's cool. Like, you were having some very nasty audio problems, but I think I just think that, like, and it's not even Queen. It's just that. Come on, he started saying Antifa and Black Lives Matter towards the end. Tell me he wasn't trying to raise bait. Tell me he wasn't trying to, like, just push the envelope on how far Queen would go. It was just obvious. He was trying to do it to me, but I just wasn't biting. I wasn't gonna bite, and I didn't. Like, you're not gonna get to me talking to me about my race or anything like that. Like, I don't, like, like, I know what I am, and I know what my peoples went through, but, like, you're not gonna bait me on that. Like, you're never gonna make me be like, oh, you're talking about, like, old Mexicans, and all, you be like, like, oh, brown pride and all that. No, like that. You're just never gonna get me on that, because I just, if I wanted to be a part of a gang, I had plenty of time to join one. There was F-13, there was Tortilla Flats, there was 18th Street. There's a lot of gangs that I could have joined, but I didn't, because I'm not a gang. I don't join gangs. That goes for all that other race shit. You know what I mean? I just don't do it. I just don't do it. Oh, well, and by all means, I absolutely appreciate that. I absolutely appreciate that. That's where me and you, like, like, we are on the same page, because I think me and you look for the clarification, and we always want to be on the same page, sitting on the same seas with everybody else. We never want to get shit twisted, and I appreciate that about you. That's why, like, I'm also not, like, like, automatically, like, oh, you're gonna question something that I say. I'm not like, oh, like, thank you. Like, maybe I put that wrong or something. You know what I mean? Like, I don't. I definitely don't mean to disrespect anybody on their panel. You know what I mean? So it's like, it's nice to get a little, like, hey, what are you trying to say? You know what I mean? But you hear me out, and that's important. No, well, I don't know if it's a streamer thing. To be honest with you, I don't know if it's a streamer thing. And look, this is like, I'll tell you one thing that I don't do. One thing that I don't do is, like, let's just say you have Like you want to put music up, right? Or you want to do things that, like, you know how people say, oh, don't use these words because of TOS or whatever. You know what I mean? One thing I'll never tell you is like how, like how you want to run your stream, how you want to do the things on your stream. That's not what I do. I express my opinions as like as someone who's there to enjoy your panel, and also like as kind of like a so you know how like sometimes the chat is expressing itself, and as a streamer, as someone who's streamed, you should understand this. Sometimes you're in your own zone. You're not looking at the chat as it's going. You know what I mean? But somebody else could be paying attention to it. So like I kind of take the vibe of the room and kind of give you like a little bit of what's going on. But whether or not you do with it what you will is up to you. Me personally, it's just a way of helping you out, because I know that sometimes I need help when like things are getting a little crazy or whatever. So like I never like like am saying like, oh, this is how things should be. You know what I mean? Nah. It's just what, as somebody who can appreciate somebody else who you know hosts lives, sometimes you need the little feedback and stuff like that. And I think if it can help you, then I'm glad I did. But like, you don't have to take, like, it's completely up to you what you want to do with the information. It's like I do with anything else. It's like if I see somebody that's toxic in your room, I'll give you the information about it. Whether or not you want to like however you want to deal with that, you deal with it. But I'm just there. I'm just there. Like as far as like trying to help along the stream, never to cut you down and never to try to take over. That's definitely not something that I would do to anybody's stream. Well, there's distractions everywhere. Trust me, there are distractions everywhere. Sometimes I get distracted by the chat too. And I'll tell you something. Sometimes I got some chatters. Okay, I got some chatters. There are some of my mods are spicy. Like when they're here, when I get a full blown like thing going on, and it gets spicy in here, like I can get distracted by my own. They can go there. So I get you. I absolutely get you. But yeah, like I said, I always just try to offer help. That's all. Like it's not, like, please don't ever think that like I feel like I know more than you, or that like I'm trying to like like son you, or what, what I mean, like try to like big brother you in some kind of way. I'm not. I try to help if it helps. If it doesn't help, whatever. Like I really enjoy, like when things are like running smooth. And so like I really like to help people run their stream smooth if it helps. If it doesn't, or if you want the mess, if you want to have a messy stream and that's what you're looking for, I mean, it's cool. I won't, like I'll keep it. I'll keep it. Like to that level. I'll keep it to that degree. I'll match your energy. But yeah, I definitely don't ever want to like be in somebody's stream and be like, oh, you should do this or you should do that. Hell nah. Hell nah. That is not my way. As a matter of fact, I like it a lot better when everybody knows what's up already, and you could just come in and chill, and everybody understands where you're coming from, what this person is about, that person is about, and you could just chill out and just have like a decent time, because everybody's coming on the same page and just having fun. No, but I think that you're, I don't know, what is it with you, man? Like seriously, you have really built a terrible reputation for yourself, bro. And I don't know why you continue. Like honestly, bro, like if I could tell you something, like I've never seen somebody have so much ire. Like so much, like it's absolutely like I've never seen somebody that has made a bed of such destruction and just simply won't understand that you're going. It's just a downward spiral. You don't see that. I honestly think you need to take a step back and start reading your surroundings, man. Like, start being a little bit more self-aware about what's going on. I don't have no hatred or animosity towards you, but you are like just it's you know just read the surroundings, man. You need to really take a step back. That's probably as good of advice as you're gonna hear when it comes to everything. And this is me being super nice, dude. Super duper nice. Oh no, no, I don't mean it like that. I do, trust me, I don't mean it like that. The reason why I have mods is not for actual, like moderation of chats, because most of my mods understand that I'm not trying to shut people down when they're gonna come here to have a conversation, by no means. But I have mods because like there are people who wish to derail things, and like I said, I don't like the I don't like the round and round and round and round, and I don't like to address it. So my mods understand me. Like, if it's circleish, if it's getting there, they know what to do. And there are only like a few select people that always make things about one thing or a certain thing, and they just want to like push that every time they come in. They know what to do with it. I don't really have to, because it's like it's interwoven, it's personal. So that's why I have my mods. They're not you'll never see random mods. I'll never just mod people out of the blue. The people who are modded are very specific to me, and they understand why they're mods. It's like it's not a just it's a selection that comes from like a deep seated connection, not something random. No, you don't. No, you don't. No, you don't fight hard. No, no, no. Dude, please, like I said, you got to understand, you are not fighting. You're losing. You know what you're doing, Ape? Let me tell you what you're doing, okay? Nah, I don't have any mod drama either. They all love each other. You know what? My mods actually, um, the drama that I have with my mods is like kind of like more internal than it is external. There really isn't any drama like in between them. They're kosher. They're best friends. Um, but Abe, let me tell you what you're doing, bud. Let me tell you what you're doing, okay? And I want you really to listen to what I'm saying, okay? Because this is what you're doing. You are that boxer, the one that thinks he's winning every single round. Because every time he goes to his corner, he sees the other boxer and they're cleaning all kinds of blood from his face. And every single round, he sees the other boxer getting blood cleaned from his face, and he thinks, "Yeah, I'm winning this thing." But the blood that they're cleaning from his face is yours. All the blood that's on his face is because he's been kicking your ass the whole time, and you think you've been winning. You're dying standing up. So I'm trying to let you know, man, you're not winning. You're not winning anything, and you really need to take a step back. The only way you can kind of, like save yourself, save some self-respect, is to, you know, just completely start anew. And but I don't mean you have to be somebody else. I just mean you have to take a step back and see everything that's been going on from an outsider's perspective, judge yourself fairly, and then come back with hopefully a self-awareness of the things that have been going wrong that you don't see right now. That's just my opinion. That's just how I feel about it. However you see it, it's my thing. Listen, man, listen. Are there people who are malicious, who will do things, like because it's fun and it's easy to poke at somebody? Yeah, of course, there always is. There always is. There are people who love to pile on. There are people who love being part of the mob. There's always that. But don't get it confused. I have seen individuals, individuals have individual hatred for you. Not they don't even need to bond over the same kinds of hatred. They hate you for specific things that you've done. And that's what I mean. You're not really reading the room. People are not just hate bonding on you. You bring it out on them. So I would say you need to really take a long, hard look at what's going on with you. Listen, man, I'm being very generous. I'm being very generous, okay? Like I thought you were something. I was wrong. I'll admit it, but I never took it far with you because I didn't know. But I've seen so much. I've seen so much, and trust me, like if I found you, anything interesting, if I thought that like you were doing something special, then I would have reached out to you, and I would, like I probably would have had this conversation with you a long time ago. But you're not, and it's not new. You're not being innovative. It, it's it's borderline um, copy paste stuff, and you're I'm really not trying to be insulting at all. I'm not trying to hurt your feelings, man. I'm hoping that you can see from somebody who's made a lot of stumbles and made a lot of mistakes that if you take some time to look at yourself, like just internalize, some things. I'm not saying go away. I'm saying take a step back, slow down, go watch your shit back, see it objectively. Hopefully, you'll be able to see what I'm telling you and find some ways to, like improve yourself. But if you don't see it, well, whatever, like it's up to you. I can't, like I'm like I said, I'm being very sympathetic, and I'm hoping that you understand that, like this is just advice that I would give to anybody who I feel is in the situation that you're in. I don't think you're terrible. Like if you've lied, if you said things, if you've embellished things, just think about it. Think about why you did that, and ask yourself, why did you want to live like that? So that's just my advice to you. That's all that is. That's just my advice. That's all it is. For what? You don't, like I said, as far as like as far as like as much as I care, like to have a conversation with you is this is as far as it goes. But this is me trying to show some like humanity towards people because like I don't always want to like just meet people at a combative state, because I don't have that energy for a lot of people. There are people who do bring that energy out of me, and those people deserve that energy, but not you, dude. I don't have any beef towards you, but I do see somebody who, you know, I have sympathy towards, and so like if it helps, if my advice helps, cool. Like if it doesn't, it doesn't. Like, but or if you want to take it, like if you don't, it doesn't make a difference to me because I really don't think about you, like outside of you either being on my stream or not being on my stream. So that's just the way that goes, and yeah, man, that what can I say? That's how I feel about it. Sure. Yeah, I guess whatever. Yeah. What do I sound foolish about? I didn't complete a sentence. Oh, yeah. Oh, how about you go run a stream? Do me a favor, go run a stream, and then go ahead and complete your sentences, and let me see you run a stream. Okay? Then we can judge each other on the same plane. All right? Don't come in here saying that I sound foolish when you won't put yourself out there to sound like anything. What do you sound like? Oh, you don't. You have no voice. Whatever, dude. If like I said, you don't want, you're not gonna find anything satisfying with me. You're not, because I don't, like I said, I don't do the circle game. I don't, I only get to a certain point. I'm being, I'm trying to be as good as I possibly can when it comes to people that I don't have any ire for, because I don't. Like I said, I just don't. You don't. There's nothing that you do that either excites me, interests me, or makes me want to, like, even explore anything that you have to say. I just see a sad person. So again, read the room. Fine, do it again. It's yeah. If you think that me being on your radar means anything to me, get in line. You know, there are people who like, I don't know, are focused in on me for whatever reason that I don't really think about them at all, dude. I just don't. Um, I just I can't I don't have I just don't have any anger towards people like that. I just don't. I can't be angry with people. I can't be angry with people that, one, I don't know, two, I find no interest in, three, don't know me, and you know more importantly, think that are gonna know me by us one stream or one conversation. Is like, it's hilarious to me, like, so it's it means nothing. It means absolutely nothing to me. All I ask is that if you are gonna watch, just heed my words. That's it. That's all I'm saying. Because like I said, you're not winning any battles. And I just, like, trust me when I tell you that, like, I have been through a lot this year. Like, I have been through a whole lot of shit. And the best moments of clarity for me during these times have been when I've taken a step back and I've internalized a lot of the things that I didn't want to. Because to some degree, no matter how much your pride doesn't want you to believe that other people are correct about you, you must accept some of it in order to understand where they're coming from. Once you do that, man, it really clarifies a lot of the things that people say, and I don't know, man. It really put me it really put me to face myself, and so I faced myself, and I just, dude, I just, like, whether those people believe it or not, I feel better for it. But hey, like I said, everybody walks their own journey. Everybody does their own thing. Whether or not you feel like what I'm saying is something that could help you, hey, whatever. Like, I'm not here to fucking do that, because, like I said, I know people with pride. I know people that won't do that. I know people that don't do those types of things, and they go on doing the things that they want to do, and you do what you want to do. Plain and simple. Well, I suggest that the first thing you need to let go is your pride. It's the first thing that needs to go, man. Pride only hurts. It never helps. Um, But whatever, dude. Like I said, just take it from somebody who's been making mistakes. And I don't know. I really I've throughout my journey here on YouTube and stuff like that, I've asked myself, what is it that I came here to do? What is it that I first came in here to do? And when I first came in, it was simply just to give some information because I understood I understood certain things about a certain way of life. And so all I wanted to do was make people understand what that way of life was like because I didn't want somebody who lied to convolute or make it seem like it was worse than what it was. And as I kept going and doing more things here, I realized that maybe it wasn't that. Maybe that's not the main reason why I started doing this. And I've been learning more and more about myself. So I don't know, man. Maybe that's what you need to do. I don't know how to take that from you, man. I appreciate you saying that. Like I said, I don't know, man. Uh, I don't. I really don't have any kind of real hatred for people here. I get angry just like I do with anybody else because I don't know, man. I came in thinking that you could treat this place like you could real life. You know, I thought that you could like be real here and like it would be accepted. But you know, hey, to some degree, I'm still trying to be that. But at the same time, I understand. Like there are always people who are playing a game. There are always people who are trying to get leverage. There's always somebody who's trying to do something, right? So you know, to some degree I've learned that. But I don't know, I really do just hope that like, I can come across as sincere when I do things. But at the same time, I don't always want it to be about this because I there's so many things that I believe are more interesting. And I think if we just stop getting in our way so much, and stop being so like concerned about little specific things that get us, like in our way, like we could just, swallow our pride for like a second and just hear people out because I don't think that there are a bunch of people who are saying something to you that can be wrong. You know what I mean? To some degree, there has to be good intentions in that. To some degree, there has to be people who see you as a sympathetic figure, who see you as somebody who can improve. Remember that people love watching somebody rise and fall, but they love even more somebody who can redeem themselves. I'm a sister. I honestly, I'm very surprised with a lot of the characters that I've met here on the internet. I would say that you wouldn't believe the people that I find the most interesting, and it's not even like it's not even like the biggest content creators because believe it or not, like I have some connections to some big content creators, but like like I don't like let me tell you something. There are two big content creators that I know, but you want to talk about like like To them, this is a business, and it's so much a business that that's the way they see it, and that's the way they talk to you about it. When you have a conversation with them, I haven't had a human conversation with both of those creators in, I think, years now, because I know both of them for at least like almost 5 years now. And a human conversation is impossible because they just talk about their sponsors, talk about the the money and stuff like that. They tell you like, like, but you see, when you see them, if I told you who they were and you saw them, you just be like, like, oh, well, they seem like they're just chill people. They are consistently thinking about their money, consistently. And I don't blame them. They've made a career of this, and that's absolutely cool. By all means, you know what I mean? If you can, go for it, right? But, like, I don't have the same interest I have in them. It's the people that don't have followings. The people that I've met here that are just like regular chatters. People who just like come around every so often, and they have something to say that have been so interesting to me. I, I have no idea why, but they mean a lot more. I was telling Tiffany that guy Burns, which like I said, I believe you. I was telling Tiffany that guy Burns really hurt me. He really hurt me. Like and it wasn't because how he made that video that he thinks is a gotcha towards me, because it's not. Like I said, all it does is prove exactly what I said. It just fills in the blanks. But the thing that hurt me, the thing that really like seriously broke my heart. Seriously. You ask Shannon for permission to use her video, but you just take my clip. You just gonna take my clip. You're gonna use my clip. Why did you think it was okay to just use my clip and not ask me for permission? I know why. I know exactly why. Because you know me better. Because me and you have shared a lot more, and you understand that wouldn't be a problem for me. But yet you treat me like if I'm the outsider. You look at me like I've got some sort of disease or something. Like if I got something that you can that is gonna rub off on you, that is gonna make you weaker or make you look weak if you don't say something towards me. And I think, God, man, like, really? That that really like it's like there aren't many things left that can really really do a number on me. But like that moment, that moment right there was like, mm, that one stung. That one truly stung. And if people want to fucking like have fun with that, have fun with it. You know, clip it, take it, restream it, put it on, put it on your. That one hurt. That one hurt. Like it just. Mm. Yeah, yeah, no, no. Whoop, somebody's here. Abe, listen, bud. I'm good. I'm gonna bring you up, but I'm having a sincere moment, so I expect you to not be fuck around right now because if you do, if you do, I will lose the slightest amount of respect that I have right now for you. Okay? I caution you.
Hi, how you doing?
Good.
That's good. I don't think I've ever talked to you one on one. And if it's not a good time, I can come back later and we could talk later if
No,
that's fine too.
no. Don't worry. I
Okay.
wouldn't have brought you up. I wouldn't have brought you up if it wasn't a good time. I'm
All
just
right,
I'm
fair
just
enough.
being I'm just being sincere about the type of like pain that I felt with that dude. You know, like look, let me tell you something before we really start talking about things. I was asked to join a group when I was like we were going after a certain dude, and I was asked to join this group because those guys were like we were having like very good fun times together or whatever. And I get it. It's like hey, like you're cool. I think you're cool. We think you're cool. Let's all join up, right? And those guys, like to some degree, don't really know me. To some degree, we're getting to know me. And then some controversial stuff happened, and they dropped me. That
Right.
didn't hurt. That didn't hurt. That actually was very like for me something that I thought they handled professionally, something that I respected because it is what it is, right? Things you when you're trying to build a brand, sometimes you just have to do things like that. And I didn't really feel any animosity towards those guys. But
All right.
that situation right there with that guy, it cut, man. Like it really did. When I heard him ask that lady, like, "Do you mind if I use your stream?" But you clip me. You didn't even try. Like like hey, you know what? I'm gonna ask this. I might as well ask them. Or you know what? I don't ask him, so I'm not gonna ask you either. It just like oh, like it's like it was comparable to like seeing your friend kiss your ex-girlfriend. You know what I mean? It's just like ouch. Like, all
Well, it
right, dude.
stings. I'll give you that. But you'd have to understand something out here, and I'm sure it sounds like you more than do. Everybody wants to be a wolf in the wolf pack. Am I right?
Yeah. Like I said, yeah. There's every person wants to be that cutthroat person. They want to be the one that they just want to seem like they're the hard ass. Everybody
Yeah,
wants to be that. Yeah, yeah.
that's
I would
right.
agree.
So for me, my whole scenario with me started with a community that I was in, and that community had been dealt a large blow when I wasn't even around. I was around, but not around. And that I had nothing to do with that. That was back in like 2019ish. So long story short, the community it was a rather relatively large community, and it's split in half over that. And then there was the leftovers, right? And everyone else is in different places. This is
Uh,
I know Lisa B. This has kind of been going on with her channel right now too.
yeah.
So right. So basically, what I'm driving at here is, by the time I got back, I started to get back into things. There was a couple of people in there that are up to no good. They have nothing but nefarious intent in mind for other people, and they decided to pick me to be their next target. unbeknownst to them, they figured they would just be able to take me out and then run me off the internet. And it didn't work out that way. So what they found with me is I fight back very, very hard. And I do. So then they didn't know what to do with me. So they decided to farm out to other groups, other communities, as you call them. And then that's what triggered this domino effect of a bunch of people that are all lashing out at me today. And to make a long story short, that I could carry on for hours with you, that's pretty much it in a nutshell, if that helps you.
Well, look, man, I'm not privy to the whole journey, and I would say that even in my journey, even though like at some places, I would say that I think people were being unfair. I have to admit that some of it was my fault, and that's where I think um a lot of people don't get to. Like they usually like usually will keep the ire. They usually keep, like certain things up because it's like it's not me, it's them, right?
Right.
And so, like I just feel like, and maybe you're right in the sense that I'm not gonna see the full story or where you got to where you got to. I just know one thing though. I know one thing, and this is something that has been true, at least for me and for a lot of people that I've seen that have been sincere, that I've noticed. When you do your thing in a very sincere way, you attract those kinds of people. And as much as I've stumbled and I've made, like, some errors, and people have seen me in a certain way, and I've seen the fickleness of a crowd be like supporting you and then disappear, right?
Yes.
There
Yeah,
are
they
people
do.
there are people that I've picked up that have been loyal, and they have not gone away. And that to me is the validation that, you know what, to some degree, I am not like everything that these people are saying. But
Well,
I do know that there is some error in me, because those people are not letting me off easy either. They're here to support me. They're here to give me, their support, because they care about me in a certain way. But they don't let me off easy. They really don't. They're hard on me, but they also like are gentle too when they can. And so I appreciate those people, and those people have been with me, like since I started. And I know sometimes I piss them off, and they're away for a little bit, but they continue to come back. And I know that, like there'll be a day when we're all back here. There's been a lot of little like choppiness here and there, and like I get it, I understand it. But that's been me though. That I've been surrounded by that. You know what I mean? Like I've never done anybody dirty. I've never done anybody wrong. That's why I got friends that support me like that, dude. I have been done dirty, like I'm telling you, like even recently, I basically was fucking left out on the streets in the cold, but because I think honestly that I sincerely don't try to do anybody dirty, and I do my best to rectify anything that I've done wrong, that karma has come back to help me, because people that I never met in my life pick me up to see me get better. And I just, what can I say, dude? I appreciate that. And so it's
that's
like
good.
that's
Well,
what I mean though. Like that's what I mean. That's something that you're not. It validates in me that I know that no matter how many times people will say that I'm fake, that, oh, you're this and you're that, and no, you won't amount to nothing and anything like that. It's like that just to me validates to me that, you know what, maybe to some degree the people who see me with those judgmental eyes have some things correct, but not all of it.
Well, I want you to get this. I want to just kind of give you the everything you just said is, and that's good. You know, a person really has a couple of real true friends their whole lives, and if they can gather a few more, that's the more the merrier, right? Even better yet. But I want you to take this to heart: that no matter what you do, no matter how hard you try, there's still always going to be someone out there to try to rain on your parade. And they're going to do it for an ego boost. They're going to do it because it's a middle school mob action mentality. And this is what I've been up against out here. Now, what's that?
Welcome, dude. I hear you, but welcome to the internet. You know,
Oh, yeah.
like, you know, dude. Yeah, there are people that are like that, and I've seen it. I know what it is. Like, it doesn't. Let me tell you something. When you got people who are in your corner, who will pick you up, but will line you up to your shit and call you out on it. There is nothing that those clowns could tell you that it could make you feel bad, because
No, they're trying to drag you
that's
down.
what, that's what I mean about the people that are close to me, is that they put me on my shit. They say, you know what, dude, I'm not hearing it, because right now you're not fucking thinking straight. You're on your bullshit. And it's as harsh as it may seem, it's only because they care that they get that way. And so I don't like it. I don't like, like, at one point I pushed back. I used to push back on that because my pride would tell me, like, nah, ain't nobody gonna talk to me like that, right? But when it's coming from, like, people who are so, like, like, when you see them, like, when other things are fair, uh they're not out there just to, like, like, cut people down. They don't just gossip and shit like that, you know what I mean? And you see, and you know them, like, after seeing them, like, out there doing their own thing for a minute, it starts resonating, you know what I mean? And so, like I said, I just simply just stop trying to get in my way. Stop thinking, like, you know what, I'm right all the time, because I'm not. How can I be? I'm just not. I'm not right all the time, and I accept that. But in that, now I can listen without this foolishness of, like, like, filtering myself through this pride that's useless. I get the full version, and I'm starting to understand it, and it makes a lot of sense. And to some degree, even if there's people who don't believe in me, who think that, like, I'm full of shit or whatever, it doesn't matter. It really doesn't matter, because it's like, what I've noticed is that I not only have I gotten emotionally stronger, which, I mean, I tell everybody, look at my streams from just a few months ago to now. I had a stream where I mourned my dead cat. I was losing it. I was completely losing it. And then, just about a month ago, I had to make a stream about a friend that passed away, that I've known for 14 years, that I left behind to come here to Oklahoma, and we were going to reunite, and she just passed right before we were about to reunite. And it like it was something so emotional, but I was able to get through that stream with like, more conviction and clear thoughts, but it's because I know that I've been growing, and I know that I'm getting better, not because, like, all I've been doing is saying, I'm right. Nah, it's difficult. I get it. It's difficult. It's difficult to be like, dude, you're fucking up. But if you don't do that to some degree, there's no room for improvement. If you think you're the best at what you're doing, and you're top dog right now, if that's what you feel, you've already lost. You're not picking up anything. You're not learning anything. I don't know. That's just the way I feel about it.
Well, I get you, dude. And that's and I'm sorry to hear about your story there. I think I remember hearing you say it once. I started to follow your channel, but For me, I've got lots of stories of my own to tell, and I keep them to myself because there's so many people that I'm up against that they're just going to take all that stuff I say, as they do now, and they're just going to cherry pick it and they're going to throw it back at me and wait till see what's going to stick. So, but anyways, no, I feel for you, and life's full of many pitfalls, and sometimes getting on here, it can make it better or it can make it worse. But for me, I just got on here to hang out meet some new friends and hang out, have a good time. And then it was just all it takes is a few bad apples to spoil the whole batch. So that's what I ran up against. And it started a hellstorm. And that's what you know of today. My problem is this. When I get on some of these panels and in these chats, there's a circular troll that's going on all over the place with me, where they will pop me on site in the chat, and then when I get on the panel, they will mute me and then throw me in the basement, or they'll just dogpile on me and talk over me. So I've learned some tricks of the trade and how to combat that. But see, that's kind of, I think that's kind of how you know me more. So that's the thing. You never get a second chance to make a first impression, if you know what I mean. So I think that's good. That was your impression of me when you first heard of me. This is the guy who's always stirring up the pot. He's always causing problems on panels and all this other stuff. When it's actually the other way around. It's these guys starting it with me, and then I'm just out here to finish it with them. That's just how I am. But if I was on a panel like I am now with you, I can actually hang out, have a good time. And just kind of add to the conversation. You know what I mean?
Well, let me just tell you something. I've never judged somebody outside of myself. You get what I mean? Like, just because people hate you. Now, don't get me wrong. There are some people who have receipts that have been brought to them that have shown their shit, and they can get my ire without me having to talk to them one on one. But when it's like this, when it's like where I don't know the full story, where things have already happened and transpired that are outside of things that I may know, anybody can get a chance on my stream. Anybody can be up here and talk to me because I want to know the whole story. I want to know where you're coming from, right? I've never not allowed people to be up here. I'll have my worst enemy up here if they want to be up here, because to some degree, to me, like it's not that like I'm trying to be everybody loved me, you know what I mean? Like, like I want to be liked, you know what I mean? No. I've always said this, like, you don't have to like me. You don't. This is not about me wanting to be liked, but you should do right. You should want to do right by people. And that's how I feel. Like, I've always said, like, I want to be good, but good isn't nice. Nice is somebody who lies to you and tells you, like, oh, you're cool, man. Yeah, that joke was funny. And then goes, behind your back and says, man, that dude's a fucking idiot. A good person says, dude, fix yourself. Or, hey, man, you're a good dude, but don't try to make jokes. You're not funny. I know it seems harsh and it's not nice, but that person is being good towards you because they're not letting you be a fool or make a fool of yourself. And so, to that degree, that's how I want to treat people here, because no matter what, like, unless we have it like planned that we're gonna meet up or something, I don't think I'm probably never gonna meet most of the people on here. And why hold animosity? Why have so much hatred, right? For people that you may possibly never see, like it's it's live and let live for me on this thing, and I just really like, like I really just would rather, like come to a place where, like I'm good with people. You don't have to like me. You really don't. Like you really don't. Like if it's because you don't like the sound of my voice, you don't like the types of jokes or the stream that I run, I'm cool with that. Hey, I'm cool with that. But just don't, just don't try to cut me because that makes you feel good. You get what I'm saying?
Yeah, I hear you. I mean, thing of it it's like there's guilt by association. You know what I mean? Everybody getting lumped into the same category, and I don't do that with anybody until they give me a reason to. So, just to give you an example, there was a guy who I know. He's kind of like the leader of the pack of this one drama community, and then he was kind of talking about how my problem is that I see them all as one, not as individuals. So I said, well, okay, point well taken. But whenever I hear you talking about me, or if you're in your group, and you're speaking of me, usually it's pretty willed, right? What you're saying is we and us. You're speaking for the whole group. And in that sense, I say, well, look, what's good for the goose is good for the gander. If you want me to see you as a person and not dub you in with everybody else, then you need to speak for you, not for all of you and them. So that's how I am. But a lot of these channels, like where you see Lisa B's, for example, that's a channel that I was one of her early moderators on that thing. And then she got another moderator on there. And then that moderator had a lot of animosity towards me. And I never really could figure out why, because I never really got a chance to know this person, right? But then it's just the way it was. And then that moderator just decided, I guess, to take it upon themselves to hit me and hide me any chance they could, and then had control of her StreamYards and would keep dropping me and not even letting me get on there to even defend myself when I'm being talked about. And so it's kind of the issue I have with that a little bit today. It's not as quite as bad, but I'm like, well, and then it's like, okay, so then that person, that moderator, it became that person's turn to get thrown in the barrel next. And I've always been a firm believer that if it can happen to you, it can happen to me, and it can happen to anyone and everyone else. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, I'm at a firm belief that everybody will take their turn. Everybody will take their turn if they haven't already. But like that's like I said, that's the whole thing about it, man. Like like I like I said, myself, and through my lens has been one of like thinking of like what, hey man, like there are some people that tell you things that are there to try to improve you, and there are some people who are trying to hurt you, and you can kind of sort those out and take the information that the people who are trying to help you take it in, and don't take it as all insults and things like that. And also like you said, individually everybody comes with their own personality. You know what I mean? Like everybody talks to you in their own way. Lisa B is a fun character, and I've since the day that I met her, I love her attitude, because it's like kind of like this ornery but like even keeled person that's like, I can't explain why, but I don't feel like I would ever get into a fight with her. But but when like I know that when she comes to talk to me about things, and she sees that like she wants to be sincere with me, she's sincere. And so like I don't know, like like I don't see her as somebody who holds this like like animosity towards the people that she gets annoyed with. But for some reason, like somebody who's chill like that can gravitate towards people who are like highly emotional. You get what I mean? And
Yeah, I
that
do.
and that moderator, that one that's going through the ringer right now, is just one of those people that's just like cranked up to 11, and I don't understand why. I really don't. Like I don't. And that's not a judgment. That's an observation. because I really don't know her. I really don't know, like, her issues. I mean, she might have, something going on there, maybe some PTSD from something, maybe it's some anxiety and stuff like that. You never know what people are going through, right? Like there's things that I don't understand as far as what she's going through, but that's my observation, is that she is just her everything is just ramped up, and she will pearl clutch on the most simplest things. And I don't know if that's a personality trait, or maybe just because she is like a yin and yang to Lisa. But I always felt like that kind of never really, like, meshed well. But for some reason they were thick as thieves at one point.
I got you. Well, I will tell you firsthand that I have witnessed at least 3 different communities just self implode. It's always over drama. It's gossip. It is people turning on other people, and what term I've coined that's called revenge friends. You know what that is? It's like
Yeah,
we're
yeah, I get what
yeah,
you're
it's like
saying.
we're yeah, you and I were best friends once, and then we become worse arch enemies. And then I go to your inner circle of other friends, and I go become friends with people that you become they're your worst enemies or your best friends, and try to get them to turn on you next, right? So it's kind of what
Yeah,
I've been up against here.
well, I mean, I feel like that's just, I don't know. I don't know about you, but as somebody who's like dealt with, and I say this all the time. I say this to people all the time, because it's like, how everybody's like looks at numbers, like, oh, I got so many views and stuff like that. And it's like, to me, it's hard to comprehend having like 100 views on my lives, or even on my videos, because I've had, like 40 different people, like, in my house, or people that I'm involved with, right? It's very hard to keep up with 50, like, 50 people. And I'm talking about, it's not just, I'm not just saying like, oh, um all friends, right? It's like acquaintances, business acquaintances, people that you deal with, or whatever. It's very hard to keep up with that. And eventually you're gonna have falling outs, and people are gonna talk shit about you. You're gonna, people, like, it's just the nature of the beast, right? It's just the way humans are, and I've never really, like, that's why I say I don't hold grudges, because it's like I don't hold any weight to those moments, because I always believe that most of us, at least most of us, because I think there's also like a high echelon of people who have like that brain power to be able to, like, um think outside the box, that don't have those prideful thoughts or whatever. But I think most of us fall to that, like, oh, you're gonna hurt me, I'm gonna hurt you back, right? And I'm guilty of it. So I just what I like to do, what I tend to do, is hopefully keep lines of communication open, and hope that, people will not go down that path. But, if they do, I just feel like, hey man, like, it happens or whatever. But I don't know, man. The more and more I see this, like, as like, things that happen, like you said, communities implode. Uh, other people, like, will come and support you when they didn't before, and stuff like that. That's why I say, like, hey, like, I'm just not. I'm not gonna give you my ire unless you absolutely did. And most of the time, like, if it is, it's really earned. It's really earned. It's not because, like, I just decided to pick up and start talking shit about you and stuff like that. Like, it's not like that. Like, if I picked up a stream and I talked shit about you, is because you earned it. Is because you really earned it. It wasn't because I fucking, like, I just wanted to talk shit about you. I just wanted to make you feel bad or something. It's because you literally got under my skin, and I had to fucking tell you why. And so I think that's why, a lot of my takes were interesting at some point. But, most of the time lately, I've been more upset with my own, things that I've done. So that's why I think I've been a little bit less interesting recently, because I'm really just trying to fix myself right now. Like I'm really on a path to fix me, because the people who I don't like right now, it's obvious why. It's obvious why. I don't need to fucking tell anybody why I don't like them. It's obvious. And there's a very small amount of people that I take their words and really care what they have to say. But like I said, when it comes to those people that I hold in high regard, those are the ones, those are the only people that can really cut deep when they want to hurt me. And I don't think I have currently, at least I don't think I have the energy to even want to battle anybody like that. Anybody who can cut me like that. I don't think I have I really don't think I have the mental or emotional capacity to go after somebody like that. All I can do is just take it.
I get it.
I,
It takes a lot of energy to do what I'm doing right now, and what you sounds like you've done yourself. Unfortunately, it's sometimes it just happens, and it's just, it is what it is. Things beyond our means. But
I'm sorry.
um,
I'm really, and like I hope you don't feel like this is gonna be this is how my panels are all the time. But you know, I do have sympathy towards this guy. I really do, because I've seen like him really be pushed in and out of things, and be piled on, and I get it. It's easy to pile on people when you're that guy, when you're that guy to be piled on. So like I'm really extending an olive branch to him, so that he sees that, like I know that it's difficult to see sometimes, but I know there are people that are in your corner. I know that right now there are people that want to be in your corner. They're just, like I feel like you just got to pay attention to the ones that are being serious about the things that they feel like you need to change. But again, those are my thoughts on that.
no, that's cool. Anyways, I hear you, dude. But the one thing I'm very good at read
Yeah,
between the lines, right? So what I heard you
I
say
love.
is, yeah, go ahead.
No, no, yeah, it's fine. No, I'm just,
No,
I'm
you're
just
good.
saying.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, I'm
you
just
gotta,
saying.
you gotta, you got, hey, you gotta mingle with the chat. You can ignore it.
No,
That's how you
yeah,
gotta do these things.
but like I said, I love my people. That's why. But yeah, go ahead, go ahead.
No, you're cool. So, I guess the only thing I was gonna say is you stated, unless you really give me a reason to basically put you out on blast and to dislike that's the problem. So the problem that you're going to find with a lot of those people on that Lisa B panel or other ones, not just hers, is they're groupies, and what they're doing is what they are all doing what's called a circular troll with me, and they're doing it to get their jollies. Okay. And I've talked to a number of these people, and I've cornered them, and I says, what is your big holdup with me? What's your rift? What is it? And they pretty much roll snake eyes every time. They don't know, most of them. They're just going with the flow. And that tells me, okay, it's the circle jerk. And I get it. So you guys are just doing this just for the hell of it. You're not doing it because you really actually you individually have issue with me. You're just doing it because you're just going with the flow. Everybody else is doing it, so you're going to follow suit and do the same thing. So what happens to me is when I get on those panels, everyone takes turns talking. There is a decorum on there. And then when I get on there, they just ignore me. And then if I try to chime in there, be a tail ender on them, then they all decide to pile over the top of me. Then eventually somebody will ask me a question on the panel. And then before I can even begin to answer it, everyone just starts talking all over again. And then I get thrown in the basement when they accuse me of talking over them, when it's actually the other way around. It's them doing it to me. So if that gives you a little bit of better of a rundown on what you're seeing with me today in past, I hope that does.
Well, I'm gonna tell you like this, and this is why I told you what I told you. All right, and let me go ahead and give you an example of something. And this is from the same people that I told you that wanted me in their group, and then they kicked me out. Okay, I hold one of the dudes right there. Actually, most of the dudes in that thing, I hold them to very high regard. Why? Because they're accomplished men. They've done a lot in their life. even though they're retired, even though some of them are not, in their business anymore because, they had to get out. I hold them at high regard because they accomplished a lot. And I respect them for that. I respect people who are accomplished. Like I don't like people who pretend they are lawyers on the internet, because becoming a lawyer is not something that you just can become. It takes a lot to become that. And so I hold people who do things, who it's not just about their intelligence, it's about the shit that they went through in order to get where they're at. So I have a lot of respect for them. So I like being, like in their streams, not to be on their panel, not to take their attention, but just because I could make them laugh for a second. If I could make those dudes laugh for just a second, it made my day. Made my day. That's all I needed. But because of the things the controversy that I had went through, they had to separate themselves. And so every time I was in those streams, they would make a joke about it. They would dismiss comments. I was purposely being ignored. And you know what? It hurt. But I said to myself, you know what? You know what? This is the bed that I made. Now I don't. I don't go to the live. I watch the restream. I watch the replay. I've taken a step back because that's what was being asked of me, and it was hard, and I didn't like it, but I needed to do it. It sucks. It really does. But you know what? If there was a reason why those people had you there in the first place, until all of this stuff started happening, they forgot why you were there in the first place. They forgot what was it that made you fun in the first place. They've completely forgot that, because whatever has been put in the forefront is what's happening now. And you have to remind them, what was it? What was it that made you capture their attention? And I think the only way that's going to happen is if you give them what they want. Just don't participate. Allow them to feel your absence. I think I think that's I think that if there are people who truly wanted your presence there and are just piling on right now because it's the thing to do, I honestly feel like there will be regret there. I I I mean, that's my hope, because I honestly don't think that people felt good about anything. Like in my case, I didn't see people rejoice. I saw a lot of disappointed people. I saw a lot of hurt people, but I did not see people like celebrating and having fun with it. Sure, there are people that will, and sure, there are people that are going to pile on. And there are people who absolutely just have ire for you, who are just going to come at you because it's the time to do it. But that's not what I got. So I said, you know what? The best thing I can do is just give them what they want right now. It's the absence. And if they feel it, and if they're like thinking to themselves, maybe we're a little too harsh. Maybe we pushed back a little too hard. Maybe we did something that we didn't really want to do. Then I know that I'm on the right path. At least I hope so. But either way, I know that whatever's happening right now, I feel like I'm on the right path. I feel like I'm doing the right thing as far as like making the choices that I'm making. And I still have that core group of people that have been on my ass since since I started, like making my channel, and I love them. I love them because they're still like they still poke at me. They'll come in, and sometimes I think I forgot that they're gonna come in, and they just pop in and they'll just give me their shit, and I love it, and I'm here for it. But your journey's yours. So like I don't know, man. I if you want to have fun here, it's not always about this, man. I didn't even know I was gonna go here with you. Like honestly, I didn't know, but like you know, if you want to have fun, I'm here to have fun, bro. That's what I have with tats. That's why I thought you were tats. Because when I first started looking at your stuff, you seemed like him. You seemed like very like him. Now, to be honest with you, now I feel terrible because I don't think you guys are the same. I don't think you guys are the same person, and I want tats back.
I do too.
I want to find him.
Well, can we explain that to you, the whole thing, or it's going to take a few minutes to get through this, but what this started out with, Tats was a guy who emerged initially who supported 1A auditors. You know who they are, right?
Yeah, no, I know his backstory.
Okay, so zipping along, good, to where we got from point A to Z here is Tats, as he was focusing on fraud at Wrangler for a while, which is good with all that, the fake Purple Hearts and all that stuff with that guy. So he was doing some good work, and Tats fell. He fell for a bait and switch trap, is what happened to him. So why do I say this? Because it was last November. There's a person named Huckleberry, and you know all about her now, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So I was on a panel with someone that she used to be friends with that she's not anymore. Who's Spirit? He's the Joker's channel.
Yeah.
Goes by Reaper.
Yeah, I know.
All right. So somebody had clipped me out of that live stream when I was kind of grilling her on her military background, and that pretty much went unnoticed on kind of more of my side of YouTube for a while. No one even really knew about it. And then somebody at some point in time, they clipped it and then they sent it to Tats, and then they sent to you or Tats. I don't know which one of you guys got it. So, anyways, it was just game on from there. And then I knew right away that if Tats I was gonna get involved in this. That there's a channel at the time. It's called Tyrant Wars that Huckleberry is knee deep in, a part of. And so what that channel will do is Stone Vet found out is they will fire back torpedoes by trying to copyright, take your channel down. I got 3 strikes from Tyrant Wars last year alone because they go after me too. So what happened is there's another channel that's called the PDF Elves. Are you familiar with them?
Yeah. They came. They were trying to get me to stop talking to Tats for a minute there. Yeah.
Yes. Well, that's a little troll group that's run by a guy who goes by Poor Dirt Farmer. You know him?
Yeah. He contacted me directly. Yeah.
All right. So he's not a friend of mine, but because he came after me instead of his elves. That's an even longer story. So Tats had already been kind of soft. I would call it. I would say he was doxxed by the PDF Elves. What they did is they put up a thumbnail with his what's called his deleted DD214. Okay, and that blasted his name out to the world, and people were able to start snatching his docs. But that it really kind of went unnoticed by most because not a whole lot of people really follow that channel except for people that are in it. So there is a connection between that group and the We the People Tyrant Wars group. There is. They feed information to each other. So right. So what happened is as soon as Tat started going after Huckleberry, We the People Tyrant Wars energized their channel to go after MSG retired Stone Vet and you. And especially Tat. So what Tyrant Wars did is they started to collect doxes of all of you guys. I don't know if they did. I don't think they really bothered you, did they?
I don't think they came at me too hard because I believe, and this is my belief. See, I was a friend to Doc Danger, which was a really big
Yep.
friend to the
Right.
PFL. And so I think they kind of like were trying to just get me to disassociate, and
Yes.
and we're hoping that I would just like like just
Yep.
basically just say like I'm separated or whatever. I'm not with them. And I think when I questioned Tats on his on basically the his wordplay as far as him like saying that he was blown up in combat and then saying he was just a combat vet. I think when I basically that's where our me and Tats' falling out came because
I see.
I questioned him about that, but it's like I said, the only reason why I questioned him was because everybody was trying to get him to give a serious answer about that.
Yeah.
Just like he was cornering anybody else. Like there was another streamer that was supporting one of the murder burglar that of course like I still speak against. Um uh and so we cornered him and we made him like say, hey man, like are you gonna be have integrity and you're gonna like fess up whether you support this guy or not, right? Well, Tat was doing the same thing. He was playing this game with combat vet and he got blown up, and did he or did he not? You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
so I, all I really did was do what we did with everybody else, just put him on the spot and tell him, hey dude, are you doing this? And
All
so
right.
he basically gave in and said, you know what, yeah, like I played around with it, like whatever, you know what I mean? Like just try to brush it
Yeah.
off, like. And so I'm not gonna lie, like I said, the people who are closest to me, the people who I find to be like the most honest and that I care about, are really gonna cut me more than somebody that I don't really care about. So that kind of hurt me. So like him dismissing that made me dismiss him, and it really was the thing where I was like, I pushed him away because he pissed me off with that lie. But I don't really hate the guy. It was just that moment of like, dude, for real, like this is what you're gonna give me this crap, And so
Yeah.
and so I pushed him away for a moment, but I didn't want him to leave like leave forever. You know what I mean? Like I didn't think he would take the Huckleberry Docs as like this is my
Well,
like like, my poof. You know what I mean?
yeah.
And
I
and
was.
so
Oh, go ahead.
no, yeah, and so like when it did happen, I took it as him being a coward. Like how can you let Huckleberry push you around like that? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like no, dude, like not Huckleberry, like fucking like let it be somebody like I don't know, man. Like I would have accepted it if it would have came from some like maybe from the PDFLs that they would have. And the thing is that the PDFLs, it's not like they fucking like ever did anything that was like very convincing. Like I'm not gonna lie that they don't have some information that's pretty interesting. They do. They just don't present it in a way that I think is that will get a lot of people's attention. So I
Yeah.
think in the PDFL, like them coming after him or Huckleberry. But if it would have been somebody like, dude, like just a big maybe AC. If AC would have gone after Tats for something, you know what I mean? Even though I know he
Yeah.
wouldn't, I'm just saying that if it would have been like somebody like him, I would have accepted Tats, like bowing out at that moment.
Yeah. I got you, dude. Well, Tats. As I gathered, the reason that he left YouTube was nothing to do with his military service. It was because that Tyrant War channel hard doxed him. That's why he left. So when they did that, because he's got a family and stuff, I'm assuming that he just said, okay, enough of this shit's enough. I'm done with this. And he left because he was worried about his family's safety or whatever, right? Which is good. But
I mean, if
um,
that's what he said, I don't know. I just don't. That just does not jive with me for whatever reason. And up to now, it still doesn't. Like I don't. That just doesn't seem to me like that was just part of the things that really like like that I think wasn't real. I think it was part of the game that he was playing. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's bad that he wanted to like have an out or whatever to like tap out or whatever. It like it didn't it didn't irk me as much as him leaning on that, because I just don't, as somebody who has been threatened and been said all kinds of stuff on the internet and told, like this and that, and like just everything, like just like everybody else who's been long enough on the internet. um you know I just felt like he was too smart for that. I felt like he was
Yeah.
too smart for that. You know what I mean? And so
Yeah, I gather it. Yeah.
it doesn't jive with me. But now that time has passed, even though like I may disagree with his reasonings, I can let it go. Like if he comes back, you know what I mean? Like I said,
Yeah.
I had too much fun with the dude to
Yeah, no,
allow
you guys,
myself
yeah.
to allow myself to be like, like, yeah, nah, I'm not gonna associate with this dude because he said one fucking bullshit lie. You know what I mean? That he can easily just apologize for and be like, I was in my fuckery, whatever. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I get you. I think the thing here is, after he was doxxed by Tyrant Wars, first PDF Elves, then Tyrant Wars. Somebody at the PDF, somebody in the PDF Elves, which is run by that channel is run by two people pretty much. There's a third too. It's Keebler, No Sugar Added Truth, and it's No Justice. Those are the two people that run that channel. So, and then there's of course PDF. Somebody got his what's called his deleted DD214. And I don't know if you're a veteran or not, but if you know how to read those, I read it, and then after he was doxxed, I matched it up, and it matched perfectly to him. So I guess he was a combat medic, but that doesn't mean he's a combat veteran. That's a specialty in MOS. So
Yeah,
that is
right.
acceptable, right?
Yeah,
And it showed that he was in there for 4 years, active
that
duty.
was the info that was given to me by the PDFLs, to their credit, and the info that was corroborated through another source of mine, another source of mine at that time that was feeding me information about many things, and he corroborated it by passing it through other vets who knew what was going on with that. And so since the information was corroborated, then I brought it to his attention. I didn't like, I didn't just like hear a bunch of things from a bunch of people and just say like, dude, like you need to answer for it. No, it was like the information got put out for me. And like I said, to the credit to the PDFLs, they're the ones who gave me the information first. Then I sent it to the person who at the time was giving me a lot of information on many other things that I was talking about at the time. He sent it to some vets. They brought it back with the 100% stamp of like authenticity. That's when I
Right.
confronted him about it. And like I said, because of the weakness of his argument towards it, and then the dismissal of like like, yeah, well, like I did that, like, and yeah, so what, like, because he did that, I was just like, all right, like
Yeah.
it just like I said, it hurt, and I don't care. Like I said, we all rag on each other. We talk shit about each other. You know what I mean? Like fucking, like it's the thing that men do, right? Like
Yeah.
especially among,
Right.
like, and I'm not a veteran. Let me just get that clear. I'm not a
All
veteran,
right.
but the guys that I was hanging out with at the moment were all like veteran guys who like to talk shit or whatever. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
ragging on each other, calling each other fat dorks and stuff like that, whatever. You know what I mean? That's just a part of it. But
Yeah, I get you.
I know that ripple of fucking him treating it like that was hurtful towards those guys as well. And that's why it was like it was like, dude, like it was just that domino fell. And then the next thing with Huckleberry, it was just like him just like poofing on Huckleberry was like, all right. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, dude, this guy's just a fucking, like, a clown playing fucking games and shit. You know what I mean? Like,
Right.
it just cut deep and hurt. And so
Yeah.
fucking, and everybody reacted towards it that way. I did as well. And it wasn't really a pile on because, like I said, individually, I, I literally like was like, dude, like for real. But it's the same thing that I'm telling you that I said about the story earlier with that guy Burns. It's because that I like like dude, we're fucking going through shit. Like like we're battling. You know what I mean? Like I've been through a lot of shit with you now, and we've had conversations in the background that have been like fucking like really personal. You know what I mean? And so for you to treat me like this is like what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like all right. You know what I mean? It just cuts a little deeper. It hurts a little bit more than
Yeah.
it would like fucking like anybody else. And I think that's what happened in the sense that everybody like just was like all right, fuck you then.
No, I get
But like I
you.
said,
So
yeah.
continue. Yeah. Well,
Yeah, like I said, I could really have a more like open like mind about it now. I'm a little less fucking like like in my feelings about it, so I can be a little bit more forgiving as far as like the it wasn't that bad. You know what I mean? It wasn't that shitty of a thing to like fuck around with that. You know what I mean? A lot of people embellish their service. You know what I'm saying? A lot of people fucking
sure.
if you just said, hey, I embellished a little bit, had a little fun with it, somebody took it too serious, my bad, whatever, like I'm not gonna have a problem with that. Maybe some vets will, but I'm cool with it as if he just said that. And
I got you.
I would still give him credit for going after fucking Kaiser. Like I'd still be like fucking like, dude, this guy's the fucking like the dude that called him out from the beginning, you know?
Yeah. Kaiser's a real goof off, and he'll never live up. He'll never live up to what he claimed valor to, which he's not entitled. But here is the catch-22 to this whole scenario. I became aware of it after the video was published, where Stone Vetter published, I think, on his channel. Tyrant Wars went after him. No, I'm sorry, I take that back. First, it was Tats that did it, wasn't it? And then Stone Vet played it later.
Yeah,
Yes,
yeah,
okay, and MSG. So
yeah,
right, and so that's how I became aware of your guys' side of YouTube because of all this. So other than that, I didn't really know much about any of you guys at all. So, but what happened here? The bottom line is somebody baited Tats and they pulled a switch on him, bait and switch trap. And I'd love to find out who the source of that that is that clipped that with me talking with Huck and then gave it to Tats, because whoever did that had to know that they were going to unleash a hellstorm with that We the People Tyrant War channel. And that's exactly what happened. And then after they get hard doxed him, if you will, they did. That's when he vanished. So, and he took his channel, hit it, deleted it, whatever he did with it. And then he came back on a backup channel. I don't know if you knew this or not, and it just
yeah.
uploaded a couple little videos, and then poof, he was just gone. Right?
I think he was I think that was and this is where like where I completely understand what he did there. Like I don't think as much as he fucking like was trying to seem like, oh well, you know what, I'm just gonna leave all of that alone. I'm gonna have a different channel or whatever. I get that. I get that because um you when you're first, like in your throes of everything, you're like, why do I want to let go of everything that I've done, right? Like why let go? Why am I gonna fucking give in, right? And so you don't you don't want to you don't want to like you don't want to like be under the same like like under the same scrutiny, but you want the same kind of like adoration. And so I think that that's what he was looking for. He thought like if I make this other channel, I'm just gonna bring the people who truly want to be around me, and the ones that don't will stay over there because I'm not in that space or whatever. But what he did, but again, there's what he didn't expect was the the people who wanted him gone, and this is true for everybody. Those people that are there consistently, because there are people who are consistently they're gonna want to support you and care about you. There are also people who are consistently wanting you to get out because that's just the way of the world, right? That's just the balance of things. And so I think when he felt that there was still more pushback because people found that channel, he just said, you know what, I again, it's one of those things where it's like you gotta accept that you've done it, you made your bed, now it's time to lie in it, But I really hope that he hears me out, and I hope that he's out there somewhere, you know what I mean, and he stops with the bullshit, like, and just comes back and not worry, like, like just go for it. You know what I mean? Like tell your wife and kids it's gonna be okay. Like I get it. I get it. There's things to worry about, but people, like people always have that hanging over their head. Hey, this shit might happen. This shit might happen. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
Stone Bet, Josh, he's got kids he has to worry about. People have thrown his kids under the bus. Guys like Jeff, Dr. Cockpick Longer Barrows, he's got people that can fucking that these guy kids, they fucking criticize him about his parenting all the time. But like he's still here. Yeah, and he's showing his face. So I say, Tats, come on, man. Show some backbone. Come on, get back into the fight. People want you in the fight. People want to see
Yeah.
you back.
Well, I mean, I hope for his sake and your guys' sake that happens. But this was a cross. I refer to it, a dub it as a cross community scenario that went down here with all this. So he had never heard of Huckleberry until somebody sent him that clip, obviously, or that stream, gave him a timestamp. However it is they got it to him. So, and I still don't know who did it. I have no idea. I did not do it. The reason I would never want to do that is because I know what backlash that he would be up against by having done it. And that would be that Tyrant War channel coming after him hot and heavy. They tried to knock Stone Bet's channel out of orbit. You remember that? So this is the kind of, effery that these guys engage in. And they protect her because she's the top dog in their group. And people on my side of YouTube knew this. And apparently you guys on your side did not. So, that's it.
But Abe, and just listen, they didn't. So it got people's attention. They I would say at the time they probably hit Stone Vet with one of the best shots that anybody had ever given them. But that his desire to not want to fold and his resolve because he's that guy didn't make him go away. And he's still here. And he has launched his group. And the sky's the limit with them. You know what I mean? They're doing great. So again, I say, I hope that he's been watching, and I hope that he's seeing that no matter how big people think they are, they're playing to the limits of YouTube. They're playing to the limits of the platform. And whatever thoughts that they're going to put out there, whatever thing that is going to be put out there, it's really your demon. It's whatever you're going to be, fearing of. Like, what is it that you really fear? Like if you're not living a real like seedy life and doing like real nasty shit, then you have nothing to worry about. You know what I mean? Like even if they're trying to come after your family, because that part is where they would fuck up, right? If you come after somebody's family for real, like if you're really trying to do that, you're gonna get a collective ire that's gonna be stronger than whatever the fuck you put out there, because you don't do that kind of shit. Even if you think that it's a fucking good move on your part, it's not. And I don't think anybody likes to play that way. People like to threaten that way, but I don't think it's real. And I think that they proved it. Now, am I trying to say that those guys, have never, like brought good things to people's attention, or I've never brought a channel down that it's worth bringing down. No, I'm not saying that at all. I'm just saying that when you are someone who is real, who is in the truth, who doesn't fuck around, who is not afraid to be who you are, who puts your shit in the forefront, whether it be a good thing or a bad thing, whether you're putting out your scars or whether you're putting out your medals and your awards, then you have nothing to fear. And so I hope that message gets relayed to him and he understands that if he comes out here and he's just, like, hey, I fucked around. I thought I was fucking being protective, but I realized that if I actually, trust in my veterans, in the veterans that I believe in, and I put myself out in the forefront and not be afraid, he would probably be stronger protected now than he has ever been. But we'll never know. We'll never know. Did I lose you?
Yeah. No, I'm here. I put you a message in the private chat. I just did not want to read out here about that. But I mean, I would say in this particular case that everyone's different when you get doxxed. I don't know. Have you ever been doxxed?
I don't hide myself.
Oh, okay. Well,
I don't.
so
I don't. I like if just so everybody knows, like if you ever panel me, my real name is on my like on the authentication, so you'll see my real name. And I've always said like the first thing I did when I came on my very first stream, I said the worst thing that you could ever find on me, which is I have a felony record for conspiracy to commit theft, because when I was a kid, not a kid, but like early, actually kind of late 20s, I decided to do something stupid because it wasn't really like a cash grab. It was more like a fuck you to my job because I was mad. And so I did something stupid, got in trouble for it, and I thought the repercussions were gonna be you're gonna get fired, right? Oh, fire me, man. You know what I mean? Like, oh, I'm gonna get fired. You know what I mean? Who cares? I'll go find another job. No, it was like you're gonna get prosecuted, dude. And I just wasn't ready for it. So that was like the worst thing that like as far as like, oh, criminal or fucking like seedy things or whatever. And I never hid from it. So it's like there's nothing, there's nothing really anything else because I I I mean I'm a person who's like, and I've told people this plenty of times. Like I I fucking kind of always lived like today was my last day because I've had death around me like since I was a kid, and I kind of appreciate things that come along, and I don't fucking really look to find like like, this is not satisfying enough for me. Like I've had enough thrills as just like going to school as a kid. For me, like I don't seek those fucking like those things, you know what I mean? Like I just want to feel comfortable and be happy, and I really appreciate like being around people who get me. And then also, like I said, my number one thing that I've always loved is just making people laugh. That's always been my thing. I've always loved to see people smile and laugh. That's just, I don't know, I like it. It makes me feel good. That's like probably like the only thing that gives me an adrenaline rush. So
yeah, making people happy. That's what I try to do. It's really that's and unfortunately, there's people out there they're just the opposite of us. But like I say, I got to know Tats when he was covering like the auditors. And the reason that the PDF elves, I gather, latched onto him is he criticized and critiqued one of PDF's videos, one or two of them, I think, and that's kind of what started that with him. And then it was just game on with them, and then he was fine. They all they were doing was just kind of poking fun at him, and all that. They did soft. Well, okay. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. They did dox him. But apparently, maybe it went unnoticed by him, or maybe he figured, well, it's not really like something that's really out there, even though it kind of is. I'm not sure what his train of thinking was with that, but and like I say,
I don't
yeah,
either. I don't either. That's probably like the most mysterious thing about the whole situation is that like I really don't understand why his thing was like, nobody can know like anything, and if they do, then it's game over. The only thing I gather is that the one thing that he probably was sincere about is that he promised his wife that if it ever came to that he would quit, and that to me would probably be like his last noble act. But the thing is that he muddied that by one, being already shaky because of the lie that he did about combat vet and being a combat medic, and two, trying to recreate his channel. See, I think that if he would have disappeared completely, then came back in some like fucking sock account just to kind of like say hi or whatever, I think it would have been more accepting. The fact that he tried to make that other channel, it really made him look bad. I think that was the thing that really like, was really the not the spit in our face, but the shitting on his own explanation. You get what I mean? Like if to you it was like, like I'm doing this honorable thing because I told my wife if I get doxxed and people know who we are, I'm quitting, right? But
right.
then you're trying to make another channel, like it's like, okay, dude, like what's for real? And then you already played around with the whole combat vet thing, like, dude, okay, not, that's too much fuckery. It's too much
Well,
fuckery. People are not gonna go for it.
can I ask you a question? So you have a copy of his deleted discharge document, is that right?
I, dude, I like fuck. We're talking about like, and
Well, wait.
dude, I probably do, but it's probably buried in fucking like
Okay, no, that's fine.
Discord DMs. It's probably buried in Discord DMs, dude. And I
Okay,
would have to go back
no,
like
that's
fucking months.
fine. The only reason I
Yeah.
asked you this, I'm not putting you on the spot with it. All I'm saying is, what did it say for his MOS on there? Do you recall it? Military, his job.
To be perfectly clear about like understanding the document itself,
Right.
I never once scrutinized it because
Okay.
I don't have any experience doing that. I just passed it along to the people who could.
Yeah.
And
I kind
and
of do. I'm not a military expert, but I know how to read those pretty well, or look codes up that are on there for awards and medals and stuff. But the reason I ask you this is, if his MOS, which is his military occupation specialty or his job, why it was that he was a combat medic, that's different. That's not okay. So being trained as a combat medic doesn't mean you actually went to combat. And if that is what he told you guys, then he wasn't over embellishing that. That would be a job.
No. But you see, that's the document was the thing that trapped him because he had already said on another stream that he got blown up. That's the thing that trapped him.
Okay.
It wasn't the see, he played with that. He played with that after people were saying that, like, hey, why did you call yourself a combat vet when you weren't in combat? And so he thought that there was nothing out there, but there was actual, live footage of him talking about being blown up. Now,
Yeah.
whether he forgot about it, I don't know. Like what, like I don't think that if he remembered that he had said that, he wouldn't like say, oh, I remember on
Yeah.
this stream, I played around with it or whatever, like, but like that's what I do. I just fuck around, whatever.
Yeah.
He never called back to that, and so that's what
Yeah,
trapped him. And it was like, dude, so why are you saying this on this stream? But now you're playing around with the combat vet thing. That's what I'm saying. That's what I cornered it with when I questioned him about it. And so he had to kind of just be like, well, yeah, I kind of embellished it. And that was really his fucking like thing, like, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I remember that. PDF helped clip that, right? So
yeah,
something about that. Now, what could it be that I'm not trying to like white knight for him or try to like justify whatever he was saying. I never even really. He was hanging out with that Gregory guy Remember him?
Yeah.
Gregory Camera, 1978 or whatever it is.
Yeah,
And the
yeah. Oh,
PFLs hang out with him, right?
yeah.
So, is it possible that he said something it was taken out of context, or did he misspeak? Did he actually come out and say,
Well,
"I am a combat veteran"? Is that what he stated? Do you recall?
look,
Or
dude, you're talking about like, and like I said, I would not have questioned him. I would not have
right?
questioned him if I didn't feel like it got to the point where he needed to be questioned. Like
Yeah.
if it was if this like I said, I don't just fucking like like, oh, hey, you know what, even I'll give you an example, and I know she doesn't like it when I say her name because she's like fucking like, stop fucking saying my name. But like, I'm just saying it as an example, okay? When shit happens, because she has put out a lot of things on me fairly. I'm not even gonna say that it's been unfair. Fairly, okay?
Hmm.
When people tell me things about her, it's mostly people who don't like her because they think that me, because she's criticized me, that I'm gonna be like, yeah, like whatever, like, yeah, like, I'm with you 100%. You know what I mean? I'm
Yeah.
not. I'm not. I think she can be divisive at times. I think that sometimes she goes for her own like personal vendettas more than she would things that I think that she would pay more attention to. But that's just my criticism. I could be wrong.
Oh, yeah.
But the thing is that when people have told me things about her, I don't fucking like. It's not like, hell yeah, 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 yeah. Like, no. People have told me things because they want me to be pissed because she called me out a few times or whatever, right? But I don't do that. That's not me. That's not what I do. I take the information and then I go. I see, okay, is this true or not true? And then I
Hmm.
see, okay, this is a rumor that's been going around since like forever, and people have just been throwing it out there because that's what they do. They say things about her like this, and then and
Hmm.
then and then like and then I go and check, because again, people who say the truth about themselves, who don't lie about themselves, have documents and things that are out there that say exactly what they say,
Right.
exactly what they say happened. So all you have to do, like when you go look up the journalist job that she had, just gotta go look it up. It's there. Like I looked it up because at one point people kept telling me like, "Oh, it's bullshit." It's bullshit. I went to go look it up. It was true. So all those things do. If you are in the truth, if you're a person who's in the truth, who's always doing things, like honorably, or at least to the point where you're covering your ass, um, there all you're gonna do is push me towards respecting that person. Now, again, doesn't mean it doesn't mean that she has to like me. It doesn't mean that I have to like her. It just means that I know that she doesn't bullshit just to bullshit. And so when it came to that stuff, when it came to the stuff with tats and how people were telling me, there was holes, and there was like little playthings that were just like not lining up, and they were not, and it just becomes a thing where you're just like, fuck, you know what I mean? And okay, like this, we have to do this. And so I did it, and I felt like I should have done it because we were so close, and I honestly thought that I was going to get a more, I guess a more um subdued text, like, dude, yeah, you know what, fuck it, I fucked up, and I didn't, like, I was just playing too much, and I'm an idiot, I shouldn't have done that, you know what I mean? But it was
Yeah.
just
No,
like,
I
man,
got you.
you know what I mean? And
No,
I
I
think
do.
that's where the irony came from.
Well, can I ask you something? Uh, so if he was actually wounded in combat, then he would have a Purple Heart. I know that. So if he didn't have a Purple Heart, I would be a little suspicious about that. Yes, but
No,
I mean, you could
the
get
thing,
Purple Heart
look,
license plates. You know what I mean?
look, the question whether or not he was in combat for me was no, he wasn't in combat. Most definitely, he was not in combat because we had gone through so many things, and he had taught me so many things about like about military things, like that I knew. he wasn't in combat. So when people were telling me that he was saying that he was in combat, I immediately, like, when we understand that we had private conversations. Like after our lives, we would sit in the background and we'd talk. So when I first got those things, like before I like double sourced them and checked or whatever, I asked him, I'm like, dude, what's this that you're saying that you're a combat vet, dude? Like, and then what would he tell me? Come on, man, combat medic, combat vet. I'm not. He's gonna be like, I'm not gonna satisfy them. Like a combat medic is an MOS. Like exactly what you were saying earlier. And I just be like, oh, okay, so these people are just like fucking like just trying to fuck with you. Like, yeah, they just want to do, like, it's not like that. I don't say that I'm a combat vet or whatever. I'm like, okay. But then, like I said, came the video where and I don't know. I mean, maybe it was edited, maybe it wasn't. I don't know. The thing is that like it was. I just remember the video being and because the way PDFLs presents their videos, they never make like cuts. They just fucking put the whole goddamn fucking live. You know what I mean? Like they would put things that they would want to tell me like in a live and just have
Yeah.
like the whole fucking live and then like have like 4 or 5 points laid out throughout the whole live and it's like fuck, dude, like you could have just cut this. You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
they because they presented it that way and because it was Ted's voice and because I was just like wow. And the last thing was it wasn't it wasn't like fucking like haha joking like like oh yeah I got blown up. No, it was like he was saying this like a serious like he was in his like fucking like somber type of like conversational voice. And that's
Yeah.
where I was like, okay,
Okay.
so this is it.
Well, let me interject this to this. So if he said something like that one time, maybe he was injured in a training exercise. You never know. But let's say, for the sake of argument, what he said, and it sounds like he did. If he just said it once and he didn't do what Kaiser does and just constantly putting it out there that he is something he's not, I would personally just dismiss it as just coffee house crap. And just, he said it once, he slipped up, maybe question it one time and then never again. And then I would just leave it at that. One of the things that we do here now more than ever is we tend to call out people too quickly before we really know all the facts, right?
No,
It
but
happens
yeah,
to me.
but you see what no. I absolutely get what you're about to say, but that's not what happened here. And this person is take it easy is telling you this was never about the fact that he lied about a combat vet or not. It's the fact that when we came to him, it would have just been easy for him to say, "Yeah, I embellished that." Like, hey, that's it. And you know what? He was he was known to be such a like I said, he was our fat dork. He was our fucking like our little fuckery dude, our little nerd, our little weirdo. So if he would have just said that, everybody would have been like, whatever. It's the fact that he fucked around with us. The fact that when we came to him, he said, "Oh, it's like whatever, right?" Like you'd like, no, dude, like fucking, like just say, hey, like I lied, okay, fuck it, like whatever. But no, you want it to be about, I'm gonna get doxxed and this and that. And then when the Huckleberry thing happened, he folded. And so it's so like I said, it's not just that one
Mhm.
thing with that. It's the combination of all these things that made that just folded his house of cards. And like I said, it would have been easier for him to just be out there than to be this fucking dude that's like fucking like oh I'm scared of what are you hiding, dude? Like it made him look more seedy than he had to be. And the
Well,
fact that after he said that he was gonna leave because of his wife, then tried to make his another channel, like it's like, dude, that's too much fuckery. But now,
yeah, he
like
would
I
have been
said,
found anyway, really quickly, right?
yeah, but like I said, if he shows backbone now, if he comes back not under Tats. If he tells his wife, hey, you know what? There are people who are going to back me up, real people. Stone Vet is no longer Stone Vet. He's F3. He's
Right.
got a group of guys. You know what? I'm gonna do it again. Not because, not because fucking like, oh, he fucking he wants to be tested. It is because he wants to show his face and not be scared. I think people will accept it. I think people will accept that because all the F3 guys, from the top guy who is right now who is Stone Vet to the interpreter Izzy, they all come on cam. They all show their face. Everybody knows what kind of families they have. Everybody even knows the locations that they live in. Everybody knows the places that they go to. But they still do what they do. And if he comes out and he's like that, they will accept him because Tats did work. There is credit for him to take. And he
I
deserves
understand
it.
that. I want to say this. I will tell you that I am somebody that has had very personal experience with that Tyrant War channel. And they, in our side of YouTube, are some hard hitters as far as doxing, is messing with people's personal lives, right? I learned a story from a guy recently where they were after his docs so hard, and this was a guy known as ASMR, ASMR, and he's recently kind of come back into things, and he helped to mold the shit show that I know you since you mentioned Authority Check when them started a couple of years ago. So I didn't even know the story that he had until with the experience he had with that group until he told it to me, and how he said that they doxed the wrong family as him, and that there was law enforcement people in that family. I'm former law enforcement myself, and then that he, like the FBI and stuff, got involved in the whole thing, and that's unfortunate. But that's the Tyrant channel. What happened with Tats, is, in my view of it, is this simple: is what you've just stated. He gets hard doxed by these people. They're thundering away at him really hard. He sees what they're doing to Stone Vet and MSG Retired, and he's like, "Holy shit!" And I think what happened in that case is because he got baited into this whole thing, and it was a bait and switch trap. He I think he realized that he kind of with this PDF elves are a little bit more disciplined and restrained, where Tyrant Wars is the complete opposite end of the spectrum as far as how they operate, what they do. So I think he realized real quickly he bit off way more than he could chew, and then when they did that to him, and he saw that other stuff happening to the guys on your side of YouTube, a lot of the military vets and things, and you guys, then it was like the Pink Panther dude. It was just, exit stage left, and he was right the hell out the back door, and he never looked back. That's just my view of it. I wish this never would have happened to him. I certainly had no role in it. I got the credit for it initially, but all I did was talk to Huckleberry and Reaper on his panel. That's it. I had nothing to do with any of this other stuff. So I've been very open about that. But if I would have known this was going to happen, I would have tried to forewarn Tats to just not get involved in it at all. Just keep doing what you're doing.
Whatever.
And not get involved with this Huckleberry thing.
Look, man, look. Those things happen. They're done. History can't change it. It's in the past. Forget about it. I just say, you know what? That's where he faltered, but he was wrong. No matter what, no matter what, he was wrong because even if he was scared about how they went at Stone Vet, how they went at MSG Retired, look at them now. Look at them now.
These.
Where's Tat?
I get it. I get
it. That's the crux of everything. Just forget everything that led up to this point. The thing that everybody lost and made people lose faith in Tats was his cowardice.
Well,
was that he ran.
Fair enough.
That's the thing. And like I said before, if he comes back, without the moniker, without the fucking the whole fucking thing, and he shows himself on camera, puts himself out there, people will accept him, and he can be exactly what he always wanted to be, himself. But the thing
Yeah.
is that the thing is that he has to grab his nuts and come out, and not be scared, because that's what Stone Vet proved. That's what F3 proves every single time these people try to go after them like that. Every time they try to put out the things that they did in the military, every time they try to dishonor them by saying, you guys did this, you guys did that, because they're not afraid.
Yeah.
They're just not. So
Yeah.
that's all. That's all. That's all I can say about that.
No, I got you, dude. I got you. But let me tell you a little story more about this. Did
I can't. You know what, bro? I have. And I like to stick to a tight 2 when it comes to my lives. I don't like to go over 2 hours. And you've got me over 15
all right?
minutes.
Can I say one more thing really quickly, and I'll let you. I appreciate letting me get on here and get to know you a little bit more. But Stone Vet, just real quickly, was Stone Vet got on Huckleberry's live stream one night? Real quickly, were you aware of that?
Yeah, I was.
Okay.
I was watching it.
Oh, okay, great, perfect. Did you see? I liked how he handled it. I liked his style. She was just thundering away at him. She was obviously stoned at the time, like she usually is. She was making fun of his military service and his Bronze Star and all that stuff, telling him to go do things to himself to harm him. You know, I'm not going to repeat that. But my point is, he just sort of sat there nonchalant. You could see it in Stone Vet's eyes. He wasn't flinching. He was just sort of kicking back, going, "Yeah, okay, whatever. Hit me with your best shot." And he's like, "Is that all you got? Is that here I am? I'm not hiding." So then I liked his approach with her and all of that, and he didn't back down with her, and he just he stuck to his guns. What happened is, and I'm going to publicly say this now, and I have once before. The reason that live stream went down is that I struck it down, and it had nothing to do with him or her. Well, it had to do with her trying doxing something about me, but that's what happened to that live stream. I killed it. She got a strike over that because of me, but it was unrelated to that. But I did download the whole thing. It's in an unlisted video on my backup channel. If you would like it, if you want to watch it again, I have it. I'll give you the link. But I gave it to, I think, Stone Vat. So I just want to let you know on that one. I'd like to continue this conversation with you another time. You seem a very like an analytical type mind, like I am, and I appreciate that. And I'm not a bad guy. I was toying with you a little bit in the chat, just to have fun with you. Don't take it personal, okay?
No, don't worry about it. It's not a big deal, dude. If you knew the people who come at me and that I have so much respect for, and I brought up homegirl, and you know what, she may not, the feelings may not be mutual, but I have tremendous respect for her. Like, dude, like it's like, there are people that have like my respect. No matter how they, no matter like where we're at, like in our like immediate situation, right? Like whether they think that I'm cool, whether they think that I'm weird, whatever. You know what I mean? It's like they've just earned that. Like they've earned that, not just because of people that they've called out, because of the way they handle themselves, because of the way they have shown me how to act here without even them knowing it, without even like thinking about it. Like they have put me on game without even them like trying to like teach me that. You know what I mean? So
Yeah.
it's I just whenever you people think that like, oh yeah, this, for sure he's got hatred over this person, or people don't know. That's why I say you definitely don't know who I am. And if you think that I'm really that stupid or I'm really that unknowing of certain things, then you just obviously are as dumb as you think that I am. You obviously are as not in the loop as you think I am, because I definitely take my time. I definitely like, listen and watch, observe. I know that the most important thing you need to do before anything else is learn, observe, teach yourself before you start making moves, because if you just go in doing things because you think you know everything, that's how you fuck up. Anyways, man, I gotta go. Like
Yeah.
I said, I like to
Yep.
keep a tight too.
Yeah.
My email's on my page description. If you ever want to
Okay.
email me, if you want to give me that link,
Yeah, I'm going to do
I'm
that.
open to it.
I'm going to do that. And the only thing I would close out on my end of this tonight, this discussion we're having, this dialogue, is that unfortunately, for the better, it seems like the better part of a lot of the people on YouTube, the panelists, instead what they do is they deploy a jump to conclusions mat, just like in the movie Office Space, and this with minus the red swing line stapler, right? Forget the pun, but and that's unfortunate. A lot of people out there are not. They're just going to go with the flow, whatever they hear. But I know. But I'd love to talk to you more about this, either on here or off of here. But I do want to say that I did like Tats. I liked his content. I did sub to his channel. I shared his channel out, and I think that he felt I want to say he's a victim. I would just say he fell short into a bait and switch trap that started from pretty much the drama side of YouTube versus the military vet, you guys and stuff, your group, and that's unfortunate that happened. And maybe one of these days he will reemerge, maybe not, but at least I'm glad I got a chance to see her and talk to you more about the story and all of that, at least from where I'm at with it and what I know about it and all that. But listen, dude, I want you to have a good night, and I hope I'll email you, and we'll talk to you again. I appreciate you letting me get on here.
All right, bro. Have a good
All right,
one, man.
peace out, man. Huh? Be good.
See you later.
All right.
All right, guys. You know what this means? It's time to go. Jeez, he made me pass my type 2. It's more like a lose 2 now. 21 minutes. I guess that's the honest Abe effect. All right, guys. I'll catch you guys later. Have a good one.